You are listening to SDO Isabela Radio-Based Instruction.
Learning never stops in Math Eskwela, your school on air.
Your partner in achieving fun learning experiences. Let's listen, enjoy, and have fun in learning mathematics. Stay tuned.
It's mathematics time again! So learners, let's make our math brain grow. Hold on with another math lesson on the air. I am your radio teacher, Teacher Rochelle K. Bernardo Ramirez. Wow! For now, just relax. Keep in mind that wherever there is number, there is beauty.
Oh yeah!
Hand your learning activity sheet and find a place where you are comfortable with, then listen attentively as we acquire the needed knowledge and skills in this episode.
Okay!
Alright, learners, are you excited with our new episode for today?
Oh yeah!
That is great! Have you ever tried shooting a basketball to the rim? Have you ever wondered why Stephen Curry, an NBA player, is good at shooting a ball? Or simply, have you tried throwing a stone upward to hit a mango fruit? Yes, some of you, especially males, are fun and very good in playing basketball. Just like many kids, they love to throw a stone or a wood upward to hit the mango fruit. Don't you know, learners, that those are applications of quadratic functions? Right! One of the most interesting topics in mathematics is the quadratic function. It has many applications and has played a fundamental role in solving many problems related to human life. This can be helpful in the field of sports, medicines, business, and many more. Now, how do we represent quadratic functions? Yes, we can represent quadratic functions by using table of values, an ordered pair, mapping, an equation, and a graph. First, let us represent a quadratic function by using table of values. In using table of values, the values are plotted on a table with the x and y values. It can be presented horizontally or vertically. The table describes clearly the behavior of y as the values of x changes. Keep in mind that we can only say that it is a quadratic function if each values in the domain are not repeated. Otherwise, it is a pure relation. Example, we have the table of x and y values wherein the x values or the domain is -3, -1, +1, and +3. The range is +5, 0, +5, and 3. As you observe, there is no repeated element in the domain. One of the elements in the range was repeated. It is +5. It is many to one correspondence. Therefore, the table of values is a function. We can also represent a function by using unordered pairs. An example of ordered pairs are the sets where you've learned before in your previous grades. Each pair is composed of the x and y coordinates. The set of all the first coordinates is called the domain, and the set of all the second coordinates is called the range. Every set is composed of elements separated by commas, and each pair of ordered pairs is enclosed with parentheses. Just like in the table of values, we can only say that it is a function if there is no repetition on the first coordinates. For example, we have a set of ordered pairs as the quantity 5, 2, the quantity 2, -5, the quantity 1, 0, and the quantity 4, 2. Learners, will you give the domain in the given example? Good job! The domain is 5, 2, 1, and 4. How about the range? Excellent! The range is 2, -5, 0, 2. Each element in the domain is not repeated. Then, it is a one-to-one correspondence and the function. Another representation of quadratic function is by mapping diagram. The mapping diagram has also x and y values, or earlier we called them the domain and range. It is called mapping since every element in the domain is mapped to one or more element in the range or vice versa. We used arrows in mapping the values. In case we have the x values as +2, +3, and +4, furthermore, the y values are -1, -2, -3, and -4. +2 in x values is mapped to -1 and -2 in y values. +3 is mapped to -3 and +4 is mapped to -4. Very good! It is a quadratic function. How about this? Y squared plus x squared equals 3. Is this a quadratic function? Right! This is not a quadratic function because y is in the second degree. The last representation of quadratic function is by using graphs. We can identify quadratic function given a graph. We plot the graph of quadratic function using the rectangular coordinate plane. The graph of quadratic function can be identified using the vertical line test. A graph is a function if and only if a vertical line touches the graph only once. The graph of a quadratic function can only be either opens upward or downward, and it is called a parabola. Alright, learners, did you all understand the representations of quadratic functions? What are those representations of quadratic function? Yes, we can represent a quadratic function using table of values, ordered pairs, mapping, equation, or a graph. Then, we are now ready to apply what we have learned by answering this activity. Get ready with your pen and paper. Let me know how well you understood the lesson. In this activity, you will identify whether the given is a function or a pure relation using the different representations of quadratic function. Are you ready, learners? Number 1, we have the set of ordered pairs, the quantity 5, -1, the quantity -1, 3, the quantity -2, -1, and the quantity 3, 5. Again, for number 1, we have the set of ordered pairs, the quantity 5 and -1, the quantity -1 and 3, the quantity -2 and -1, and the quantity 3 and 5. For number 2, the quantity -3 and 5, the quantity -2 and 0, the quantity -1 and -3, and the quantity -3 and -5. Again, for number 2, the quantity -3 and 5, the quantity -2 and 0, the quantity -1 and -3, and the quantity -3 and -5. Number 3, given a table of values where the x values are +4, -1, -2, +4, +2. The y values are +3, +1, -1, -4, and -2. Is this a quadratic function? Again, Given a table of values where the x values are positive 4, negative 1, negative 2, positive 4, and positive 2. The y values are positive 3, positive 1, negative 1, negative 4, and negative 2. Is this a quadratic function? Number 4, using a mapping. Positive 1 is mapped to negative 4. Positive 2 is mapped to negative 3, and positive 3 is mapped to negative 5. Is it a function or a pure relation? Number 5, a straight line graph that extends to the left and right without bound. Last item, number 6, the path of the ball being kicked by a player.
Ito ang bagong simula, bagong normal, bagong umagang parating. Ito ang tamang panahon upang maghanda sa bagong hamon harapin. Hindi magbabago ang hanap ng pusong tumulong at ituloy ang ating misyon. Dahil anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon, walang maiiwan, lahat ay aahon. Sama-sama tulong-tulong sa ating pagsulong. Anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon, tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Tuloy ang Pilipinas sa gitna ng pandemya, tayo ay magsama-sama kapatid. Kababayan, dapat kang makialam. Halina at tulungan ang ating paaralan. Ipagpatuloy lang natin ang ating sinimulan. At sa bawat paghapang, bakit sa pangarap kong hagdan, ipalaganap ang pag-ibig at gintong kaalaman. Kahit sarado ang pinto, huwag tayong huminto. Dahil ang edukasyon ay higit pa sa ginto. Katulong ang bawat isa at pamahalaan. Ang lahat ng ito ay malalampas ang taas yung kung haharapin ang realidad. Ating isigaw, sulong edukalidad, sulong edukalidad. Bago ang hanap ng pusong tumulong at ituloy ang ating misyon. Dahil anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon, walang maiiwan, lahat ay aahon. Sama-sama tulong-tulong sa ating pagsulong. Anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon. Dahil anuman ang sitwasyon, lahat ay aahon. Sama-sama tulong-tulong sa ating pagsulong. Anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Tuloy ang edukasyon.
Okay, time's up. Let us answer your activity. For number 1, it is a function. Number 2, pure relation. Negative 3 is repeated in the domain. In number 3, it is also a pure relation because positive 4 is repeated in the domain. Number 4 is a function.
Mari, Narinig mo na ba ang tungkol sa online distance learning ng DepEd? Ano ba ito? Ay oo, Mare! Ang online distance learning ay isang pamamaraan kung saan maihahatid ng mga guro ang kaalaman para sa mga anak natin sa tulong ng teknolohiya gaya ng internet, laptop, computer, at cellphone. Ganun ba, Mare? Oo, Mare! Hindi magkakasama at magkakaharap ang mga estudyante at mga guro. Maaaring matuto ang mga bata sa pamamagitan ng online na pagkatuto. Isang mensahe mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
And that ends our episode for today. I hope you gained more knowledge and skills. For mastery of the lesson, you can answer the remaining problems given in your learning activity sheets. If you have questions, just contact your mathematics teacher. We would like to thank our script writer for this episode, Ma'am Leslie Ann Ballesteros Gamaru, and the whole RBI production team of SDO Isabela. Again, this is your radio teacher, Teacher Rochelle K. Bernardo Ramirez of Isabela School of Fisheries, Palanan, Isabela, signing off and saying, sa SDO Isabela, walang maiiwan, we recover as one. Until next time, God bless!
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.
Laging handa! Laging handa!
Baha, tagtuyot, sunog, lindol, bagyo, mga kalamidad na likas sa ating mundo. Napapahamak ang buhay at kabuhayan, kaya naman kailangan ng paghandaan.
Maging handa, maging alerto, tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Laging handa.
Kalamidad ay maaasahang darating.
Sa di inaasahang oras,
Kaya naman hindi na dapat hintayin.
Unahan na habang di pa natataranta.
maging handa, maging alerto, tungkulin to ng bawat mamamayan. Kaya tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Suriin mo mabuti ang iyong kapaligiran. Saan ka ba nakatira? Diyan ba ay bumabaha? Tuwing gamot, pagkain, kumot, pang sindi, first aid kit, mga gamit panligtas ng buhay dapat mabitbit. At sakaling lumindol o sumabog ang bulkan, meron bang madadaanan palayo sa kasawian? Panahon na ay malupit at ang hangin hagupit. Mabuti na lang na tayo ay laging nakahanda.
Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa. Tara na, kilos na, lika na, tumulong tayo. Gawin na po ang karapat-dapat na maging laging handa.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Education with the support of World Vision Development Foundation.